Hi, and welcome to this week's Victory and Praise small group lesson. I am Tyrone Marshall, aka Teacher Tyrone, and I am delighted to have this opportunity to present this lesson to you. Now, this past Sunday, Pastor Trent spoke about family issues, problems in the household, problems in the generation. He talked about, the drama that goes on. See, we tend to think that we have some new drama, reality TV, or even in our personal homes. We tend to think that this is something new or something special. But if we really would read the Bible, we would realize that the drama we go through, the problems that we have, they're nothing new. As a matter of fact, they're kind of small compared to some of the stuff that went on in the Bible when it comes to families. Now, I want to talk about some of the problems that we cause in families, because every family has some problems. Now, hopefully it's just some problems sometimes, and it's not always a problem in your home or in your immediate group, but every family has some problems. The question I want to ask you, though, I want to pose to you is, are you the problem in your family? Now, if you're a husband like me, and you're saying I'm not the problem in your family, you're the problem. The problem. That's part of the problem. And the reason why is because you are the head of the household. You are the priest in your home. So if there's a problem, it does involve you. You may not have caused the problem, but you are part of the problem. Now, the Bible talks, even warns us about being, shacking up. Another problem, shacking up. I heard people say, marriage is just a license. Marriage is not just a license. The Bible says marriage is honorable. Paul said it's better to marry than to burn. He was talking to the Corinthian church, but he's talking to us today. It is better to marry than to burn. What is he talking about? Burning? Lust. So it's better for you and that woman to commit to being married together. Now we're married, and now we're talking about divorce, right? Another problem that plagues the families. Well, the Bible says that the husband is supposed to love his wife like Christ loved the church and gave his life for it. And that the wife is supposed to submit to her husband. Now, we usually get that backwards. We usually just talk about wives submitting to their husbands. But why would you expect a woman to submit to you if you're not loving her like Christ loved the church? Who would divorce a man like that? Who would separate from a woman like that? I can't think of anybody for any reason. Now I'll talk about the kids. I know I'm going too fast. This is going to be a short mess. I'm talking about the kids now. We're talking about family. We're talking about problems in the family. Your kids is upset. Your kids is angry. And you going off. I've done it. You going off saying some stuff that you shouldn't say to kids. Telling the kids they ain't never going to be nothing. Their daddy wasn't nothing. Their mama wasn't nothing. So they ain't never going to be nothing. You are cursing your kids. Please quit doing that. The Bible says for parents not to provoke their kids to anger. Now, you kids, the Bible also says to honor your mother and father so that your days would be longer. Not so they would be pleased. That's a good side effect. That's a hope. You honor your mother and father. If they don't appreciate it, don't worry about it. God sees you, and your days would be longer. And if it wasn't for my mom and dad, if it wasn't for your mom and dad, no matter what they are, no matter where they are, they was bad parents, whatever it is, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be here. So honor your mother and father because God says so, because it'll be a blessing unto you. You with somebody, you've been hanging out a long time, you've been together for years, we might as well be married. Get married. Get married. Not because of the court, not because of the law of the land, but because God says that marriage is honorable. I want you to know that whatever problems you have in your household, whatever problems you have in your immediate family, whatever your problems you have in your core with your boys or whatever the case be, your girls, whatever it is, it ain't nothing new. And conversely, when we have problems, we can turn the page. And when we turn that page from that problem, we get to really see the good. We get to really appreciate the good. See, when you have a bad time, you really appreciate that good time. If we didn't have any bad times, the good times would just become mundane. Pray and ask God to give you the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to fix those problems. Don't be trying to do it on your own. We like to be fixers. Sometimes that mess will get us in trouble. Depend on God.